Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young and welcome back to Factorio using the C-Block mod pack. So, we are in the middle of prototyping this new little component of our factory. We are trying to make something that will produce oil from sulfuric acid, crude oil from sulfuric acid. Did I set that up right? I didn't. I did the wrong things. Well, that's embarrassing. That would have been really bad if we had gotten that to produce and not work. But yeah, so crude oil needs steam and cellulose fiber. Cellulose fiber, blue cellulose fiber needs carbon and sulfuric wastewater. Right? Yeah. The sulfuric wastewater will pull in from all of these. We have it being stored in several places. The carbon we're going to make on the fly from wood. We have a little arboretum subcomponent. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this whole little subcomponent thing, where we just instead of having a single big arboretum place like we did with our farms, we just have this little block in many places, and that will make all the fuel we need for everything. It's not perfect, but it doesn't produce wood that quickly. But it should be sufficient for our purposes. In particular, right now we just need some steam. So let's go ahead and... what am I looking for? A boiler. This will need water. I guess that's... I mean, we do have those other alternate things that make steam without water. Production of power without water. That doesn't make steam, it just makes power. Nah, we're gonna need oil. We're gonna need to bring the water over. So we might as well use one of these burner inserters. Not burner inserters. Right? This doesn't make steam, right? It does. It makes steam from oil, and that's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do. But it needs water too, so it doesn't give us any benefit at all. Now, we'll just use... where'd they go? There. We'll use the boilers. We'll put that there, I guess. And get some water. Well, for this, I'm gonna use these pumps. We'll just put a couple of them right next to each other. Alright, and we haven't unpacked this, we need to do that. We're gonna need to use this for more than just the, well, we shouldn't insert it directly anyway. We should... where can I get... I need to make another one of these. We should turn it into a fuel pellet before we do that. There's not a lot of room here. I kind of wish I had left a bit more space. Oh well. It'll work. And you're making water, please? There we go. First component. We have the steam we need, or we will in a moment. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, we do have the steam. It's just not hooked up yet because of lack of power. No, it's not reading it in. Oh well. We will have the steam we need. And we can use this for other purposes. We'll need, in particular, to turn it into carbon dioxide. So that needs a liquefier. We'll use a liquefier 3 because we can make them now. No, we can't. We don't have enough aluminum. We'll use a liquefier 2. Does this need water too? Carbon dioxide. Nope. Alright, that's the second component. All the CO2 we need. I almost think we needed 2 of these though. Let's go ahead and make another one. If not, several. And I want to use this. I guess I don't have to use this here. I could just use this for powering this array. But I was going to use this charcoal to give us like carbon and things for when we are processing all this mineral sludge into the different ores or different metals we need. We might have enough to do both. It looks like the wood's stacking back. Come on, hurry up. Okay. And this does need to be careful. It needs to only allow things in if it's an underflow. Underflow valve. Because we want to make sure that this is always able to output its carbon. And right now it can't. So that's worth messing with. You might want to add a add what am I saying? Can we just do anything with that? I don't think we can. Mess with this. Like this doesn't have, all it can do is read. We would need to use a pump in order to control. Anyway, I think it'll work because I think as soon as these go, they'll start. This will disappear, and then it'll make space for this to output. So I'm not going to worry. That's what it needs, right? Just regular steam. Maybe it needs to be steam of a certain temperature. I don't know. Let's get the sulfuric acid going. So for that, we're going to need. Actually, let's make sure this can output fast enough. For that, we're going to need to gather it all up. Right now, it's sitting right here in each of these. We're going to have a big exchange at the front of all these, where we're going to gather up all the different minerals, sludge, and sulfuric acid. Send the sulfuric acid, sulfuric wastewater north. So let's go get some more pipes. Now we build this big, huge section of our base, and it all sits there silent because we don't need it all running. This is a little inefficient, I have to admit, the way we have so much duplicated buildings. Like, we don't need this many air filters. We don't need this many clarifiers. It's just cleaner because each of these strips is completely independent of the others, except for the output. The output all feeds into a common pool. It means there's some redundant parts. I might need more of those. Why is this all stopped? Because it's supposed to be stopped. It's fine. I guess there's room here if we need to make crystal seedlings too, if there's need from that. Okay, the wastewater is the bottom one. Um, let's... Do my bots reach out this far? They do. Let's get them to help out. I don't think those are going to line up right. But that's okay. We can like have a little bit of extra piping here and there. Um, we'll just deal with it ourselves. Why is that part of it? That should not be part of the string. Well, let's get to work. Need fast spots so we can see them just arrive. It's probably not entirely in reach for that one. But we don't need to go north. Actually, we do need to go north. Never mind. We'll figure that out in a moment. Apparently, we're missing the materials for construction. That's weird. Is it just are we having iron problems back home? Maybe. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap. That's fine. We'll need to pull it off of here anyway. Let's see if it goes down. 21. Yeah, okay. It's building it. Just building slowly. There they go. Actually get the work done. Okay, at the end of the day, we're taking this north. Not that. This one is the sludge. This is what we're taking north. And again, we'll need an overflow. We need to make sure this can self-supply. Or underflow, I mean. The spacing is not ideal, but what can you do? It's sufficient that it doesn't look terrible. Functionality is all well and good, but you know. Making sure that my vanity is satisfied is far more satisfying. Go faster, bots. Okay. Oh, it's going again. Why is it going again? Because we have more room for sludge to accumulate in. This will mean that our oil production and our sludge production will be tied together, or rather the consumption of the two. If we stop making oil or stop consuming oil, this will fill up, and this won't be able to continue producing sludge. So maybe we'll have to throw some sulfuric wastewater away, or have a dedicated supply of... No, we can't have a dedicated supply of sulfuric wastewater. That's kind of the issue. Is this working? Yeah, they're going. We've got blue algae, and blue algae is converting into cellulose fiber, which is not going in here. It is. Yes, we have output. Okay, and now what are we doing with that? Waste. The multi-phase oil we need to put into an oil and gas separator. What is this ratio? Glad you asked. Let me look. Why is that filling up so slowly? There should be a lot of sulfuric wastewater, like a ridiculous amount of it. Oh no, it's not gonna fill up more than the it won't fill up more than the tank is full. Might have to add a pump or something. Anyway, so we have one oil refinery 2 worth of things. Let me pull this up. I just want to figure out if I need more than one of the next step. So this is producing 100 multi-phase oil. Every 5 seconds by recipe. It's taking place in something that's of speed 1.75. So it's really 5 over 1.75. 2.857 as it says. So we're actually getting 100 divided by that, if we're at full capacity, which we're probably not. We're getting 35 multi-phase oil per second. One of these consumes 100 multi-phase oil. Every 2 seconds, except it's actually 2 over 1.5. Or 75 per second. So yeah, so 2 of these setups could fill. One of these can handle 2 of these setups. So we don't need to like make 2 of them right here. What am I doing? I'm putting this. Should I put it here or should I put it out? I think I have to put it out. There's not enough room. Yeah. Okay. Maybe there could be. We can make there be enough room if we moved this. If we like did this above. But that makes this get in the way. I could shift this entire thing back 1. I don't care. It's fine. Yeah, now I'm kind of wishing that I put the sulfuric on the outside. We're gonna have to swing this around. Let's go and do the one recipe right now. Okay. So we're getting gas and crude oil. I don't have anything to do with the gas yet. I don't want to deal with it. Eventually we're going to need it for methane, ethane, and butane. But the acid gas... Oh, that's just carbon dioxide. That's not nothing. That'd be a way of supplementing this. Would give me hydrofluoric acid, which we need for some things, right? For making some crystals. What do you like crystals need? Give you silver. Okay. And they're part of silicon processing. Alright, let's leave that alone for now. You know, actually, probably it's going to be a part of many things, because we're going to need hydrofluoric acid for making the crystals, and the crystals we're going to use for not just sorting them, but for making, like, purified types. So that'd be silver ore and tungsten ore, which you can only get from the purified by 2 different recipes. Titanium, too. What does rubite need to get that? What gas? What's thing? Nitric acid, which is nitrogen dioxide, which should be easy to make. I think that's easy. It just requires some work. It will need. Okay, it does need to go through ammonia. I was thinking you could just get nitrogen and oxygen, but now you need to make ammonia too. So 2 types of catalysts. That'll be fun. We'll get to that eventually, I'm sure. Anyway, I wanted to store stuff, so we should make a couple big tanks. Big gas tanks. The oil we're gonna do. What's the main thing we're making oil? The naphtha, right? We only have. And we can burn it, of course, but that's a terrible idea. We only have 1 recipe available. Makes naphtha and base mineral oil and fuel, which I suppose we could use to power this steam reaction too. But anyway. Or we could, okay, we can combine it with the methane we're getting from the other thing to make diesel eventually. But the naphtha is the main bit. Naphtha we're going to use for this chemical laser flash fuel. And there's other things that can make wood, but we have lots of wood. Butadiene at some point, which is useful for rubber. But there's other ways to get to rubber, right? We can get it from resin, yeah. So that's a terrible recipe. You can make propane from it, but we already have infinite propane from algae, right? It's a way of making plastic eventually. I think we can make toluene from different recipes too. Yeah. So I guess really the only thing we're gonna need this for, naphtha, is to make the blue science, and to eventually convert it over, the excess, into synthesis gas. But that's the point of this. That's why we had to do all this, so we can get that blue science started. How do I want to lay this out? Because these are not going to move for a while. Let's just do something simple, like that, and let's see, like that. Alright, we have crude oil. My, that was quite a thing. That took us an hour and a half just to set up this little tiny thing to get a little tiny bit of crude oil. But whatever. Is this... I want to make sure it's working. Like it's not gonna end up having too much sulfuric wastewater to output or something. This doesn't seem to be going. We didn't put them here. Ah, whoops. How embarrassing. Alright. And And this isn't as demanding on the carbon as the other one is. So this is 40 every 20 seconds. What's the other algae? The green algae. It's the same thing, 40 every 20 from 100 carbon dioxide. But we have a lot more of them. So I think it's okay. And we've got nice wood back up here to use as fuel otherwise. Okay, good sell. We might end up doing more with this. At times. I do worry about the sulfuric wastewater. Maybe I should put a non-return. Let's do that. I don't want the sulfuric wastewater that I'm making up here flowing back into these. That's just silly. So I don't think it will anyway, but I think the lines are separate. They only go through here, which is underflow. So, but whatevs. We got our gas, our oil. Okay, let's start planning what we're gonna do with all this stuff, because we've got all this mineral sludge sitting in boxes or in these tanks, and we want to spend them in a particular way. We're gonna want. Well, so we've got 5 of these. 5 of these strips. Each strip can support 8 to 10 crystallizers, and we need to divide those 5 sets of 8 to 10 crystallizers among these things: rubite chunks, crushed bobmonium, and crushed steatite. And we're gonna need a lot of copper. Just like a lot of copper. The trouble is that it's hard for me to know from per steatite how much aluminum I'm getting, because of all the processing along the way, like there's multipliers and all that. I think we probably need to do some working this out. Let's we've probably done this before, but that's okay. It's always fun to do it from the start again. So gold, let's just say we're gonna make gold. We want to figure out if we put 1 strip making gold, how much gold will we get of this gold plate? Yeah, we can make gold wire, but we don't need gold wire. We need gold plates. So to get gold plates, it's I should do the entire thing. Let's not be lazy. So 40 molten gold comes 4 gold plates. Pastes. 4 seconds in a thing that's going to be. Can we make casting machine 2s? What casting machine are we doing? Yeah, we can do casting machine 2s. They're cheap. Okay, and casting machine 2s are of speed 1.5. So in practice, one of these casting machines, can turn 15 molten gold into 1.5 plates. Going upstream. So gold ingots to molten gold. There's nothing we can do about that. No like extra steps. Well, let's leave some space because we'll have an actual count eventually. So 12 gold ingots become 120 molten gold. Sorry if the spreadsheet stuff is less interesting. I I can't do it in my head. I need to write it down. Otherwise, it just doesn't work to me. We can use induction furnaces twos, I bet. Yeah. That's simple enough. So again, 1.5. Alright. To get the ingots, there's this whole mess with chlorine, which we'll want to do. Just because gold is going to be the limiter here, I think. So we're going to go ahead and do complicated things to get the most efficiency we can. So 24 gold ore and 60 chlorine gas is 24 gold ingots. You'd think I'd be able to do this like once and then just refer back to it all the time. But if I do, I don't actually remember how it worked last time. We can make Mark IIs. So it's again 1.5. Don't be helpful, Google. We just want to be able to input things ourselves. Alright, so we're going to need 22.5 chlorine gas for 9 gold ore. Let's do the chlorine first. So chlorine is saline. And it produces the sodium hydroxide as a thing we can't get rid of. Now we can do that pretty easily. So 100 saline becomes 40 chlorine. At least we don't have to like recombine it into hydrochloric acid. Just can do it with the chlorine. In 2 seconds in an electrolyzer. We have electrolyzer 3s available now, so that's speed 2. Just, you know, for form's sake. And the saline water we can make easily. Although we might need to make like multiple. Let's go ahead and work it out just so we can make sure we understand what we're doing. These salination plants, can I make them? Just 100 water and 400 saline? That's really fast. I think last time we couldn't make them because they need... Oh, we can make them now. They need concrete bricks, but we didn't have them at the time. And the red circuits. Okay. Well, everywhere we're making that, we should switch over. We were doing it like this. We're making purified water and a little bit of saline. This would be a way of making a lot of saline. So 1000 water becomes 400 saline in 5 seconds in the speed 1. So it's that divided by 1. So we get 80 saline per second, which is still not enough to produce all one of these chlorine things. But that's fine, we probably don't need to. Okay, let's go back up and deal with the ore. The ore we're getting from rubite chunks. We already worked that out. Because that's the only one we have access to. So 6 rubite chunks gives me 1 gold ore in 1.5 seconds. This is going to be happening in an ore sorter 3. Doesn't really need to be an ore sorter 3. It's not going to be enough, probably. So an ore sorter 2 we'll use. They're cheap. Speed 1. So 4 rubite chunks a second are possible to get 2/3 of a gold ore. The chunks are producing nitric wastewater. It's worth paying attention to. You can't do anything with that, right? It just turns back into mineralized. It doesn't like give us a it's like hydrofluoric acid will give us a little thing. It will give us fluoride or whatever. Anyway, 2 crushed rubite and 50 purified gives us 2 rubite chunks. And that's all we need to care about. It happens in 2 seconds. And it's gonna be in a thing that's of speed 2. Okay. The purified is easy to get. It just requires space. The crushed rubite. We're gonna get from 2 rubite ore becomes 2 crushed rubite in 1 second. And we do have access to Mark IIIs, I think. But we're not gonna need it. Let's say we're doing Mark IIs. So that would be speed 2, right? Yeah. So each of those can handle 4 rubite ore per second. The rubite ore, we get from the mineral sludge. And we can make crystallizer 2s. Just do this real quick. So 25 sludge becomes 1 ore in 4 seconds. Equals that divided by, what's the speed of this? 2.25. Alright, so we're producing 0.5625 ore per second from each of these crystallizers. We said that a single strip can, well, a single strip needs, let me look at this. We worked it out at one point. We said a single strip was going to be producing, where is it? Slurry. 42 per second? That seems not right. I could swear we did this before and we saw it would be like 100. Yeah, okay, so there's gonna be 2 of them. Wait, no, that's the slurry. It's the sludge we're talking about, 60 sludge. Which is enough to support 60, okay. 60, oh, we can just grab that and plug it in. So, we actually have is this much sludge per second. Which is less than I thought it was. I thought this was going to support many. It's going to support 4? Really? I'm not sure I believe it. I think that I'm doing something wrong with the formula up there. I'm thinking it's producing 4 per filtration unit. And we're actually going to have 2 of them. I might have to check my numbers, but I'm betting there's a divide by 2 in here. Divide by that first column to see what each individual one's going to be able to handle. And the actual sludge being produced is double that amount. Because at one point we thought it was... I thought it was this number, 25 divided by 4. Oh, that would be what it was in a crystallizer 1, or the recipe. But yeah, okay. Well, that's less than I thought. I might double check that. to make sure I'm believing it. But it's saying we're gonna put 4 of these, and 4 crystallizers, and they will be producing this divided by that times that much ore, which equals that. So we only need 1 of these, and it will be producing that much crushed ore. We're gonna have that much crushed ore, so we'll have that divided by that times that, which is the same number, grew by chunks, which will produce that divided by that times that. Less than half of a gold ore per second. Well, this is a lot more meager than I was expecting. Maybe I need to make more of these. Alright, we're gonna have that much, which will give us that divided by that times that ingots per second. And that same amount of molten gold per second. Which will give me a bit less than half a plate a second. So we were saying that we're gonna need 10 gold plates per blue science, right? Let me just double check that. So 1 blue science needs this, which needs 5 gold plates. And this, which needs 5 gold plates. Wow, that's a lot of gold. What if we double it? We can get down to 1 a second. That would let us produce 1 blue science every 10 seconds. If we give it the output of 2 of these. 2 strips. I don't know. I think I might want to check my numbers a little bit to make sure that I really do think it's only going to be able to support 4 instead of the 10 I thought it was. If nothing else, well, we can look. I don't want to get started on it yet. We'll do something else for now. Let's make sure this is working. So the next step with oil is to split it. We need to split it into different things. Fuel oil will get burnt into steam, and so we'll have a little extra power production over here. Well, actually, we'll need to we might need to clarify some of it because well, we're gonna have base mineral oil and fuel oil right here. Base mineral oil is lubricant. Lubricant and steam. Am I doing this wrong? It's not lubricant and steam. It's base mineral oil and steam is coolant. Well, no, base mineral oil is coolant. But why did I think I needed steam for this? Or turning it back from used? It just needs ceramic. This is weird. It has 2 technologies associated with it. Weird. Okay, we're eventually going to want to do coolant though because it is helpful. But that doesn't help us. We were saying we were going to do stuff with all of this. I guess the fuel oil will just make steam. These oil residuals we'll just store somewhere. Can't even process them yet. That's what we need the steam for. And steam cracking on other things. Yeah, this all happens in a steam cracker. I'm a little let down, I have to admit. I was hoping that building this huge array up Like, okay, let's just theoretically theorize. If we were to not just take one of them, if we were to take 5 of them, take the entire, all the strips there, how would that change our equation? We'd be producing 2 gold plates a second. So that would be enough for one blue science every 5 seconds. Which isn't terrible, but could be better. I think we're not going to do that, because we're going to make like iron and other things, but it is discouraging. Anyway, before we get started on that, I think I better, you know, psych myself up for it. So I'm going to take a break here. We're a bit early, but not that much, and we were late last time. So thank you everyone for watching. My name is Michael Young, and this is Factorio, using the C-Block mod pack.